YouTube show and podcast. I'm Aimee Cruz, and today we have on Kelly Surette. She is the creator of Moms the Musical, which is being unveiled to the public on, is it July 24th, right?
July 24th at 2 p.m.
Exciting.
EST.
So what gave you the inspiration to write this?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I got to be honest, becoming a mother. I have two daughters. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. And I think that when I became a mom, I expected something so different than what the experience was. I had this, it was going to be beautiful and joyful and rose-colored glasses. And I just didn't necessarily fall into motherhood the way that I thought I was going to. And so, I had this experience of having to sort of redefine who I was in this new role while also trying to hold on to who I was as an individual and my career goals. And it was a battle for me. It was a really challenging experience. And I sort of always had this musical on my heart since I had children. And just, I think even watching the moms on my street, having my mom friends, being in my mom group chat, all of the things that I have taken part of as a mom, I just really looked at what was happening in theater and what's been happening in the entertainment industry. And it's such a male dominated field. And I just saw that mothers' voices weren't represented. I just felt like, ours is a story that should be told, and moms deserve to see themselves on the stage in a musical in a way that they can relate to. And so that's what sort of charged me forward. I knew that I wanted to talk about different kinds of mothers. I wanted every mother to be able to see some form of herself on the stage. And I worked really hard to build that into the script. And I think, it really came from my heart. It came from seeing the moms on my street with their toddler who's having a temper tantrum and they can't get them to calm down, and being like, you're a hero. This is a story that needs to be heard. This is a story that needs to be represented on the stage in a way where you're not the supporting role. You're not the best friend. You're not the mother in the corner of the leading role. You're the leading role. And so that's what really brought me to Moms the Musical.
So what types of mother archetypes do you portray?
So that's a great question. So we have all kinds. We have a single mom who's, she's an Upper East Side working mom. She's the kind of mom that can afford a nanny. And she's a really interesting character. And then we have the workaholic powerhouse mom who really just doesn't necessarily take to motherhood naturally. And then we have on the opposite side of that, we have the stay-at-home, bubbly, makes her own baby food and has the time to, just do everything that a perfect mother does. And she's another character that we have. We also have an alternative mother. We have a lesbian mother who's in a unique lifestyle relationship. And she's a creative mom. Her kid's name is Wolf, and she's got the essential oils going, and they're lots of fun. There's
so awesome. Do you identify yourself with one of those types more than the others?
So it's funny. Some people say that the leading character, Justine, is who I am. The workaholic mom is the character of Justine. And people say that she's who I was to my first daughter, and that the bubbly stay-at-home mom who does all the baby food stuff is the mother that I am to my second daughter. I don't know if it's true, but I definitely identify with the struggles of Justine, who is our leading woman, who's really, she struggles with motherhood. She doesn't know how to hold on to herself and step into the role of becoming a mother. And her husband takes very naturally to fatherhood, which makes it almost worse for her, because it's like, well, you're supposed to be the one who is perfect at this, and here he is, you know, this great father and this super likable guy, and she's just struggling so much with
Wow, that sounds like a really relatable story for many people that I've talked to.
Yeah.
What this whole concept of like your identity, like you had your identity before children, and then you now are a mother and you have this identity that a lot of people say like, oh, like I lost myself. And, you know, what does that mean? Like, what was your background before you had kids? What, you know, how are you this like hardworking person? And does that identity, now you feel like, is that who you are and who you still are? Or is that identity now gone because you wanted it gone?
That's such a big question. I love it. I think that it took me some stumbles and falls to figure out who I am now. I think that when I became a mother, I definitely lost my identity. There was one point I remember just holding my second baby and looking in the mirror, and like I had the hair going, the leaking everywhere. I just was like, I looked in the mirror and I was like, who are you? Like, who are you? And I believe it was at that moment I was like, I'm going to write a book. Just like, because I was so like desperate to like find who I used to be, which was a really, I'm a powerhouse. I'm a big personality. I'm a strong woman. I'm an advocate for women.
Your background in theater then? Is that your professional
My background is in theater. Yeah. So I went to the Boston Conservatory for musical theater, lived in New York for a while. I was a child performer. So I always had musical theater in the background. But when I had children, I really did put that aside. And I was like, no, I'm going to be a mother. This is what I want. You know, this is what I'm going to do. And I found that was a real struggle. But I think that my daughters are the ones that really, the motivation to show them that they could be anything they wanted to be at any age, with any situation that they were in, that they could still go after their dreams. You know, that's what really propelled me forward into writing. I published a book about, you know, teaching music to deaf and hard of hearing learners, and then writing the show. It really comes from like trying to demonstrate for my children, my two daughters, that you can go after it. You can be who you want to be. You can still be a mom. You can still love your children, but you can still go after your dream. One doesn't have to exclude you.
I love that message. I completely agree. So how did, why was the time now? Was coronavirus gave you the opportunity to actually do this? How did coronavirus give you the opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, coronavirus stopped everything. And when you're an artist and you don't have anything going on, you create. That's what you do. And I finally had the time and the opportunity to sit down and put pen to paper. I wrote the musical last summer. And then we, in December, we did a quarantine demo. So we all quarantined for 2 weeks. Then we got together for 3 days. These women had never sung together before. We recorded the show in 3 days, 19 songs, and then we quarantined for 2 more weeks. So we, despite COVID, we persevered with the show. So
it's 3 women. So do some play multiple roles? Is that?
So there's actually 8 characters total, and there's 6 women. So there's 2 men, 6 women. One character does play multiple roles. She's a mother-in-law, and she also plays a ghost of the mother. So we definitely have a mother-in-law in this show, and I think lots of women will be able to.
And she plays a ghost?
She does, yeah. So she comes back in flashbacks as one of the mother of the leading role, Justine. She comes back to sort of support her in her motherhood journey spiritually, and just as a memory.
So you recorded this when?
In December 3rd.
Is it live in July 24th?
So yes, so our workshop is live on July 24th.
Oh.
Yep, so a demo was just the vocals. the actual music. This workshop on July 24th is a fully choreographed, fully staged production in New York City at Ripley Greer Studios. And we're actually live streaming it to the general public. And we're raising funds for Moms New York City, which is a phenomenal, amazing organization that supports single mothers in New York. They're a 501c3, and they do lots of postpartum care, prenatal care, providing, resources that women need. So we're donating all of those general public ticket sales to them, and tickets are only $5.
That's so cool. So what's your hopes for the show?
This is an investor workshop. So our hopes for the show are that we gain a leading producer who will produce the show, as well as investors. Our goal is an off-Broadway or Broadway production. We really want to see this show have a center stage place in the musical theater community. We believe that it can, we believe that it should. And we hope to one day have, our dream is to one day have mom and kid days. Bring your baby, come breastfeed. They'll be changing tables and you can watch the show yourself. We want to make this accessible to the women that deserve it.
That's cool. And is it all songs or is it also like acting, I guess?
Oh yes, it's a full story. Okay. It's a full story. It's a full length musical with a full story. You go on a whole journey with these two women who become best friends. It's basically about one woman who's a powerhouse and one woman who's a stay-at-home mom, and how they come together and how their friendship helps them to grow and develop and change and become the women that they want to be.
Congratulations. What a cool, it sounds like phenomenal. I think you're going to do really well.
I hope so. That's the goal. We're not going to stop. We're going after it. Like I said, we believe that this is a voice that should be represented in the theater community.
So what's the website for people to find you?
So you can find us at www.suretteandhall, SURETTEANDHALL.com/moms-the-musical. And tickets can be purchased right on that site. And there's a student.
How long is the show?
I'd say it's about a 2 hour, 2.5 hour with a 15-minute intermission.
Wow, yeah, it's good length.
Yeah, It's a full length show.
Well, I will check it out. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll get this out to our followers.
Thank you so much. I had a blast.
Yeah, it was really nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you as well.
For more, please visit www.momsofmaternity.com.